What is up, guys? We are back here, Mayflower Sports. We all gamble NFL edition, Super Wildcard weekend. Forget about the regular season. We're here to deliver some playoff picks. Looking forward to it. First time here on the podcast talking playoffs. And we have some opinions to give out. Also just hoping for some good games, but also hoping to cash some tickets. Let's not waste any time. Let's get our first pick. And we're going over to Noah. What's up, Noah?
All right. What's up, fellas? First of all, Jake, I just want to apologize to you for coming in here so hostile about your Eagles. They're all right, man. They'll be okay. we are praying for the best.
1-6 in our last 7, buddy. Not good.
I know. We're praying for you. We're praying for you. But yeah, I'll start it out. I am going with the Saturday game. Keeping it simple. I'm taking Cleveland -2 against the Texans. I love everything about this Cleveland team. I was actually just telling the boys that was my late night pick to win the Super Bowl after watching Joe Flacco march all over the Jets. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say on this for me. I think Cleveland's just looked like a really good team all year, especially after losing, obviously, Watson. They lost Nick Chubb. Like, they have put together quite a good run this year, and it's been led by a historically good defense, and I think the defense itself is going to speak a lot this game. Nothing against C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I think they've done an incredible job this year too, but I just really like this Cleveland team. That defense, I think, is going to carry them. But not only that, like, Joe Flacco really has been playing well for weeks now. Like, I think he's been the starter for how many weeks now? 4 or 5? Averaging 325 yards a game, the highest in the league. And he hasn't even played like bad teams. Like I said, the second last week he played the Jets, and the Jets defense has been the thing they're hanging their hat on all year. And Joe Flacco made them look easy, and probably was a little bit of a revenge game on his part. But really, like, I just like this full team of Cleveland right now. I like them. I think they're more complete than Houston. And the other thing that's like a sneaky stat, I mean, I don't know if I really count it because Joe Flacco's career has been super long at this point, but he's on these divisional kind of first weekend games of the playoffs. He's 5-0 straight up and 5-0 against the spread. I'm just believing. I'm believing in Flacco, man.
I like it.
I'm taking Cleveland -2 against the Texans.
I feel like that stat does matter. It's experience, right? I think the story of this game is experience versus inexperience. CJ Stroud, saw how emotional he was after the big win last week to get them into the postseason. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco didn't even know if he was going to be here, let alone winning as many games. Fun fact, he's thrown more touchdown passes this season than the entire Jets team. So that's how you know it's a really pass-heavy attack. Real quick, Jake, I don't know if you have anything in this game. Over 268.5 passing is what I have for me with Joe Flacco. So Noah teed me up perfectly. I'm going to stay off the side, stay off the total. As Noah mentioned, since he's been the quarterback for Cleveland, whether it's been Kareem Hunt or Ford, they just haven't really been running the ball as much. And when they have been doing it, it's been in kind of key moments to get that short first down, to get into the end zone. But realistically, they have been a pass-heavy team. And one thing about Flacco, he's not shy to air it out. It might cost them, it might turn into an INT, but he is not scared to chuck it up there, to go deep. He still has that arm strength. And you really look what happened last week with the Colts and Texans game. That wasn't really much of a back and forth, like highlight play type of game. I feel like we could see 1 or 2 big plays that make the difference. Win or lose, I think Joe Flacco still goes out with a big game. So I'm going to take that prop. And I think it kind of correlates looking at the running props for both Hunt and Ford. I think the highest between both of them is like mid-40s. So it kind of lets you know that's going to be kind of a pass-heavy game for the Browns. So Noah likes the Browns. I'm rocking with Joe Flacco with the props. And the best part about it is I don't have too many for this pod, but because we're here recording on a Thursday, usually we record on Tuesdays, and obviously it's the playoffs, we have props to talk about. So no play from me on side or total, just the prop.
It was
Over
never,
to Jake.
It was never DeMar Hamlin for comeback player of the year.
No.
It was always Joe Flacco.
Well, it hasn't been announced yet, right?
No, but DeMar Hamlin's like -150 to win, so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, if that happens, then it should just be the guy that got injured the most that played again the next year.
I mean, the guy
that should be the name of the award.
Died.
That should be the name of the award, though. Which player got injured the most and came back and played? That should be the name of the award.
The guy died.
It's a long name, but that should be the name of the award.
The guy died.
I know. He's played 4 snaps. Or like
4 more snaps
than he would have.
if he was dead.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it either, but like, I agree.
I'm not scared to say it.
but I agree with it. You say like Joe Flacco should win it, but the thing is that the NFL is a business. They understand.
People are putting real money on this. I know a guy with
really-
like a lot of money on Baker and Baker, Tua, and he even got involved on Joe Flacco. One of those 3 guys should win.
I think Baker has more of a shout than Joe. Like, Joe's had 5 weeks. When you realistically look at his numbers, like his passer rating's really good, 90.2, but 13 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Like, prone to turning the ball over. Like, they've won games, but
Can the playoffs help with this, or it has to be regular season, right?
I'm pretty sure I guess the play, like if he won the Super Bowl, I would assume, or if he got to like,
Because I'm pretty sure they can.
like the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't win something
He
else.
doesn't care. He doesn't care about regular season MVP.
No, I'm just joking. There's been
You know
a
what I
lot
love? He doesn't care about the money. They asked him about the money, and he goes, "I haven't even looked at my bank account." Like he doesn't obviously.
The guy got fucking paid while he was in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
I just loves ball, man.
Yeah,
Guy
yeah.
just loves
It
some
clearly
ball.
wasn't about money when he signed for a division rival.
Yeah. Do you have
but-
anything in this game?
I actually do. I'm going to take the over 44.5, actually. Just to quickly break it down, I'm going to discard last week for Cleveland because Joe didn't play. But since Joe's played, 19 points, 31 points, 20 points, 36 points, 37 points. Clearly, this offense is able to score. They met, actually, in Week 16. Score was 36-22. That's an over right there for me. I'm not good at math, but I know that one cash.
Points, baby.
Points. And I think realistically, I know the Cleveland defense is very good. But if I can get 25, 26 points out of Cleveland, 20 points out of the Texans, I can live with that. That's not, the craziest amount of points to expect out of the Texans, right? Texans offense is good. I think CJ Stroud is an absolute stud. I think, in a year or two, we'll be talking about him in like the same class as the best of the best in the NFL. And you could almost make that case now.
I think he's already there.
Yeah. So I really think like that guy's going to have something to prove. It's a home game. I think that gives a little bit more credence to the, obviously hasn't been there before, but a little bit more comfortable. You're in your own environment. You're used to showing up to the stadium. You have your pregame rituals. Nothing's going to really be disturbed. And they do have some offensive weapons. Like Nico Collins is really good. Devin Singletary's had all of a sudden a resurgence out of nowhere. So
Dalton Schultz, right?
Dalton Schultz is good. Obviously, it sucks no Tank Dell, but
They lost him.
they lost him a little while ago, so they've made their adjustments without him. But I think both offenses are high powered, air raid offenses that like to mix in the run, when they can, especially down near the goal line. As long as there's not like a crazy amount of turnovers, I think this total should cash pretty easily. And I'm honestly surprised it's not the biggest total of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the dome with the Lions LA game. That's the thing. The dome game.
Like actually, it's
Yeah, it's the Lions and Rams.
Yeah, Lions and
yeah.
Rams.
No, I was not for the most, but Eagles and Buccaneers is 43.5, and what was the other one? KC and Chiefs is 43.5. Obviously, with the weather, that kind of makes sense. But like those three games, I would say like of like the lowest of the week. Like I would say like for the lines, like the Texans Browns would probably be a little bit higher. I don't know if it's gonna move, but
Yeah, it's actually interesting. Like a lot of people thought that number would go from 2.5 to maybe 3, but it went from 2.5 to 2, and that's a point spread. And I think that just gives respect to the Texans, like in their offense. Like I mentioned, like inexperience versus experience. You guys might know. I think it's like maybe 4 or 5, could be 6 interceptions for CJ on the season, but I think he threw 3 in one game.
Yeah,
Like
he did.
So obviously it's the playoffs, and we can really read into it for a younger guy. But if he holds on to the ball too, because you know what, a lot of people talk about interceptions, right, as maybe creating offense, like a pick six, or you know what I mean, like a pick six or whatever. Interceptions to me actually kill an over.
oh, for sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like a punt a lot of times, like most of the time it's not helping you unless you just started your drive and you're in your own end, right?
Yeah.
But if CJ takes care of the ball, it could be interesting. Like
23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
And sneaky stat of the year, Nico Collins had 1,300 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Like,
Slept
that's
on.
pretty crazy.
Slept
The
on.
Texans.
And Tank Dell, too. Like, Tank Dell only played I think it's 11 games this year. George Pickens, over 38.5 yards. That's pretty much it.
I actually don't really have much on the game. Lean towards the under for me. I just think it's Buffalo defense has actually been what's kind of gotten to them. You know, you talk about, Noah, you mentioned about them, that race they had to end up actually winning the division, which is crazy because they were looking like they couldn't maybe make the postseason. Defense has been the name of the game for them. You know, there's been some kind of bumps in the road, but Steelers, obviously the pass rush is hurt without Watt, but I still think they've been a good defensive team. If they have any hope, they're going to make some big plays, and they're going to hopefully make the Bills punt a few times, and hopefully the story of the game is defense. So lean to the under for me. Not sure if I'll end up betting it.
Just feed Pickens the ball. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I think it all could happen.
So Josh Allen, Pickens, under.
Yeah,
all right.
it's possible. Possible for
those three things can happen.
Those three things could all happen. We just need Pittsburgh to really suck, except for like 2 good throws to Sean.
Yeah, except for his guy.
Dude, just give me a 39-yard catch and then an INT every other throw after that.
There you go. All right, then the next game is Dallas Green Bay. Does anyone have anything on this?
You guys are gonna get fucking smashed, but
hey, all right.
Hey, chill.
We're just happy to be in the dance. We're just happy to be invited. We got a solid 7 that we're gonna take. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a couple drinks with the boys. We're just gonna really enjoy our night. You know, it's gonna be a good time. It's not gonna be the best.
We're at Jerry's World.
We're not gonna be king or queen or anything like that. We're just gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a memorable night and rolling on to the next one. All right.
Happy to be there.
Yeah, we're happy to. We're just
3 straight wins.
Yeah, you know, Jordan Love is officially a guy. All right, don't need to hear it out of you anymore. He is a guy. He might even be more of a guy than your guys. So,
shit!
Who knows?
Jalen Hurts with that hurt finger. Do you have anything?
No, I don't. I don't have anything because it scares the hell.
Are you taking it?
make a Super Bowl before you fucking start that bullshit.
Okay. All right.
Hey, where's Nick Foles though? Where's Nick Foles? He's the real guy.
He was a guy. Jordan Love, not
everyone's
a guy.
gonna have Cowboys teasers. I know that. Honestly, if you guys like the Cowboys, I'll just say it. You got to put them in a teaser. Just makes more sense to get them down to a pick. I think the best play of that game. You guys already know I got a prop up my sleeve for the Packers. Aaron Jones over 69.5 rushing yards. 100 plus last week. He's really done well since he came back for the team. I know they've been a heavy pass heavy team. You know, obviously finding all kinds of weapons. They really haven't had that like number one guy. You know, it was supposed to be Watson, then it was Romeo and Wicks, Kraft. There's been so many guys that have made plays, but Reed. But I think it's important to keep the ball out of Dallas's hands, keep them off the field, keep the offense off the field, and let that clock tick. And I think Aaron Jones. Maybe I'll go rushing plus receiving because he does get those dump offs, but it's not me obviously saying anything bad about the capabilities of Jordan Love. I just think that the strategy has to change. And one thing about Dallas, I think they're top 5 or top 7 against the pass, but they're about middle of the pack against the run. So I think the key early on in the game, at least, the only thing that hurts this bet is if we go down like 2 touchdowns in the first half. Aaron Jones isn't running the ball. You know what I mean? But I think early on, we can see him run the ball piece by piece. And when he does get the ball to run, he's not one of those 1 or 2 yard guys. He usually is explosive and you know, gets a decent amount of yards per carry. So that's my bet. And that way I don't have to worry about the side or total. I'm just taking a prop.
I got an absolute lock for you guys. This is like the bet of the century.
Touchdown.
Jordan Love interception.
No.
CeeDee Lamb touchdown.
It's even better. It's better than both of those. Minus 1,000. Jordan Love's not a guy.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Lock.
Yeah. All
He's
right.
the guy.
Lock.
Better.
Why even say? Let's hear why he thinks he's.
He'll
not
have
a
a
guy
better
at this
career
point.
than CJ Stroud.
Okay. Well,
He will.
I don't know if I'm going that far, but maybe. I hope so. That'd be great.
Minus 1,000, not a guy.
All right.
That's your play on the game?
It's my play on life.
All right.
Okay. A life play.
That reminded me of Skip Bayless versus Richard Sherman. I'm better than you at life. When he told Skip Bayless.
All right.
No, you guys have been all right, man. I think your defense has been performing a little bit better than the start of the season. I think that.
Yeah.
Not great, but I think it's definitely helped to get you guys in the playoffs. But it's gonna be tough going into Jerry's world with that Dak CD combo at home.
Yeah.
You know, Jake Ferguson in the mix. Tony Pollard seems to be like he turned a corner last week. I don't know. And that defense, Jordan Love, like 2 or 3 interceptions. That'd be great.
I don't know, man. Jordan Love this year, what is it, 32 touchdowns to 10 interceptions?
Might get it.
Not a bad year.
Might get a third of those in one game this week.
Not a bad
it's so
year.
bad that I'm out here just fucking absolutely being the biggest hater.
After he's played so well. After he's actually played pretty well,
like
too.
No justification, just straight
It's
hating.
just like, wait, what? He's not even saying bad. He's just saying numbers.
This guy,
minus 1,000, not a guy. Why would you say that? 3-4 interceptions
in one game. Yeah.
But
sorry.
It's gonna be a run. It isn't gonna be an easy.
Do you like
game
the
at
under?
all. It's gonna be rough.
Sounds like you like.
No,
the
I
under.
didn't. I'm not giving out a pick on this game. Fuck
All right.
the Cowboys and the Packers.
All right, next we got 2 more, boys. 2 more.
All right.
Rams and Lions. Number now is 3 even. No more hook. What do you guys think?
Oh, dude, I'm all over the Rams minus our +3. I might even take a money line too, to be honest.
I'm taking Rams money line.
This is my favorite
This is what
upset of the
fucking
week.
scares me. Everyone loves the Rams.
I know it is scaring me that
Everybody loves the Rams.
It's-
Oddly enough, I think it might be like the first time it's ever been like a double revenge game.
Yeah.
True.
Well, like it's kind of like it's a double revenge game, but like I'm just thinking about the football gods here and like just Detroit constantly loving to just curse themselves. Like, you know, some fans, there was like some fan account out there that said like they're banning Stafford jerseys from being entered into Detroit. It wasn't like the Lions putting that out because that would be ridiculous. Like that's not even like fair to say because like Stafford literally gave all the best years of his life to that team and broke records, like passing records and everything for them. So that's just disrespectful. And then they put out their own like the pregame hype video for getting in the playoffs and everything. And it was like, just the way it was done, I was like, I get they were trying to pay Stafford respect, but was it really? Like, it was like it's putting Stafford's jersey down and everything, and then like Goff coming into the playoffs, like first time winning the division, all this. Like, there's all this crazy hype, and like they should have been happy they won the division first time in 20 years. It's a big deal, but like, if it's that big of a deal, like, what do we do? You know, the inexperience is kind of there a little bit, so. That's how I think about it. And yeah, like Stafford has to feel kind of some sort of way, like going in there and like this team finally getting the pieces around it. They finally made the changes and thinking like, man, I gave so many good years to this organization and they couldn't give me this kind of, like, obviously he had Calvin Johnson, you know, we all know about that duo and everything, but they didn't ever, you know, it was never like, oh my God, this team's going anywhere, really. Like, it was always just the Lions. So
he suffered through it for sure.
Yeah,
but then he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, he was happier. Grass was greener for him, but it is one of those situations where everyone was talking bad about the Rams last year because they underperformed badly. The Super Bowl hangover was real. And then this year they beat expectations. Puka's looked really, really good, even though Cooper Kupp's kind of like hasn't had nearly the same season, but they have really good weapons. The run game has been really, really good. I know Detroit's supposed to be really good against the run, but I just like what Stafford can do in this game. I like the whole aura around it. I like and I really like even just hitting Stafford's over on his passing yards. Like I just think Stafford knows how to play in Detroit. He played there for years. He knows what that crowd is like, and I don't think they're going to be insanely hostile towards him. I think obviously they're going to be hard cheering for Detroit because, I mean, God, they finally have something to be happy about, but he's completely okay with that crowd.
Detroit's kind of like a scummy place, so I wouldn't put it past them to just be like, fuck this guy during the game. But
Forget about him.
the one thing that kind of has me a little nervous is they gave up 20 points last week to a San Francisco 49ers team that second and third stringers played. And then they gave up 25 points to a Giants team that sucks. They gave up 30 points to a Saints offense that pretty much sucks. They gave up 22 points to an offense that sucks. 20 points to a Commanders offense that sucks. They gave up 37 to Baltimore. Respectable. A lot of points, but Baltimore is like hands down the best team in the AFC right now. And then they gave up 19 points to the Browns. So LA is definitely susceptible to giving up some points. Lions are a pretty high-powered offense, but I'm hoping, like you said, just kind of Stafford goes in there. They have good weapons. Things start to kind of click for them at the right time. Detroit's given us a lot of false hope this year. The home field advantage really I don't really care about too much. It's in a dome. Doesn't really make a difference to me. Stafford's been there a bunch of times, like you said. But I'm with you. Rams +3. I'll probably even sprinkle a little bit on the money line too. But I think this game could go either way. I'm not like, if I had to pick like one upset that I like the most this week, it would be the Rams. But that doesn't mean like, it's a full bank account play.
Put it this way. It's pretty much a pick 'em because of the home field. They're getting 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
2.5, or home field I've heard is now 2.5. So you're getting 0.5 extra for the Lions.
Yeah.
It's really a pick because it's at home. Honestly, boys, like I've been hesitant about this pick, but I actually like the under in this game. No Sam Laporta, I think, is being completely underrated. Like, he shouldn't have been out there last week. Honestly, I don't think it was necessary. He shouldn't have been out there. He gets hurt. Sucks for them. Young guy. The tight end position's been big for the Lions. And really, you look at McVay versus Dan Campbell. Look, for me, when I want a motivating speech, I'd like to be coached by Dan Campbell. But if I want an actual guy that's going to take advantage of a spot like this against a kind of more inexperienced team, shorter week, I think I want to look at McVay. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. I'm more worried about Detroit carrying the momentum of the over than I am for the Rams. The Rams are comfortable running the ball. The Rams take longer possession to score versus the Lions. The Lions, you mentioned Cooper Kupp, Noah. Really, we haven't seen too many explosive, like 40-yard catches from this Rams team. When they score, they're usually just driving the field. Their running game has been strong. 52.5 is hard to get to. I know we're inside. I know it's a dome.
It's playoff football, man. You got to think the game's going to be close, right? Especially at that high. I'm with you, man.
I think the under could hit.
Yeah,
I think that's just in general for any of the games this week. Like 52, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
52, 53 points. Like, you got to expect some games to be close, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I just picture this game going how, just because it's Detroit and how they're cursed with things, I think it's just going to be how the Dallas-Detroit game went this year. Like, should Detroit have won that game in the end? Probably. Did Dan Campbell make some gambles there in the end, and they got kind of some bad calls by the refs, but, got to kick the field goal after the third attempt, but didn't? That's going to be how this one ends. I have a weird feeling like it's going to end with, like, just a heartbreaker for Detroit. Like, just some weird, like, what the hell just happened kind of, like, win. Like, so yeah, it's just a weird feeling in my head. It's just like a gut feeling after watch. And I've watched probably the most Detroit football.
Yeah, you probably have.
Anyone this year. Like, I've been almost like a diehard fan watching these Detroit Lions play, riding this wave of them, and just it's all come up to this moment. It's all coming.
And if one big drive that takes 5 minutes if they're on the 20-yard line, turns into a field goal, it's a huge dub for me with the under, but also hurts the Lions.
Yeah. And
I think the lower scoring this game is when we get later into the game, the more it hurts Detroit.
Yeah. I'm just counting on Jared Goof, baby.
Jared Goof.
All right, let's jump into the bullshit game of the week. We got Eagles at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That shouldn't be on Monday, I'll add. That should be Saturday night. There's no way there should be a game on Monday. It doesn't make any sense.
Who cares, man? I lose on Saturday. I lose on Monday. It's all the same thing.
But don't you guys think, for the team-wise, why should they have a short week? The winner of that team have a short week the next week. Doesn't make any sense.
I didn't think about it that way. I did not think about it that way.
Like, it doesn't actually make any sense.
Yeah, you're right.
I think in terms of,
they got a short week. They're going to play next Monday?
They might. You never know.
Well, it is Super Wildcard weekend.
Yeah.
No, but if you want an absolute lock, minus 5,000, Jalen Hurts is not a guy.
Is not a guy.
No, I'm just trolling. That guy's been so bad lately, man. Holy shit. We've been a mess.
He's a dog.
It's tough. Like, I obviously have to go with the Eagles -3, but like,
Listen,
that's the toughest bet of the week, man.
Move him
Like,
to running back.
that's strictly, I don't care about my money play. All loyalty, no common sense. If you have any common sense, you're taking the Bucks +3.
we need less athlete thinky, more takeover-y.
I think, honestly, look, I think you said a couple of common sense, but I also think if you've watched football only for the last 5 weeks, you're taking the Bucks.
Dude,
It's about, do you take it momentum? How much do you care about momentum?
dude,
in my
I told
opinion?
you before we started this podcast, the Eagles realistically could have been 4-14 this year.
It's the most Eagles.
4-13.
It'll be the most
it would've been.
Eagles thing in the world for them to win this game by like 6 or more points after the dog shit effort they've been putting in over the past. It'll be the most Eagles thing. Everyone, sharps, public, people that are watching all season, the last 20 years or for the last 4 games, to fade the Eagles, and they'll go ahead and put towards the. Look at what I saw a media report today. Jalen talking to a reporter about how he hasn't thrown a ball in like a week and a half. Anytime you fucking see stuff like that, they go out and throw like a 40-yard dime their first play. It happens
He's gonna be pretty
every.
fucked, though, man. I don't know if you saw his finger.
No, I did,
bad,
but
but-
And
that
it's on
stuff
his
happens
throwing.
in every sport. Oh yeah, my ankle's really bothering me. The guy goes out and drops 40 in a playoff game.
It's
in
a little
basketball.
different though when it's your throwing hand, and it's your middle finger, right? Like,
Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I took the Eagles, but
I'm
I
right
clearly,
behind. I'm right behind both.
We're
of you,
definitely
man.
losing. Come on,
No, listen.
come on, we're definitely losing.
Come on, Eagles.
We're
No,
definitely
I'm
losing.
Eagles -3, man, all the way. Because I don't even think like even the last 5 weeks, like there was a couple like I would say the first 3 weeks of that the Bucks looked really good, but the last 2, like they didn't score a touchdown against Carolina. Carolina's terrible. Like they were god awful this year on both sides of the ball. You can't get in the end zone against that team, win 9-0. Like that's not impressive to me. Then they got killed by the Saints the week before. Got destroyed by them. It did not look good at all. Like Baker had like a really strong middle of the season, but finished off the last 2 weeks pretty sketchy. So I don't even know if anyone. I mean, I guess if either team had momentum, it would be the Bucks. But to your point, Andrew, like I don't really believe in that. Like this Philly team is still. They still have a ton of talent. They've been there before. They were there last year. They can win against the Bucks this week -3. I think.
Just remember this expression: public dogs have fleas. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have fleas on Monday. When everybody likes a dog, and I feel like a lot of people like the dogs, we're the only 3 people that are a consensus group on the Eagles. I think that a popular.
I told you if you had common sense, you'd bet the Bucks.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's thinking like
I'm
that.
only doing it out of loyalty.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, everybody is thinking how you're saying about common sense. This common sense,
Dude.
You know what? The Buccaneers aren't the Cowboys. The Buccaneers aren't these elite
The
teams.
Buccaneers are definitely better than the New York Giants.
That's true.
yeah.
That is true.
Like
But the Eagles
million
aren't
percent.
playing. Yeah, but
Well, who did
they're also better than the Washington Commanders.
Who did
all
Carolina?
right. I'm done with this.
Like, we
Give me
can-
the
we can-
Eagles. I'm done.
Like, you can call me being a pessimist, but like Noah said, like he watched the most Lions games this year. I've watched the most Eagles games.
Fair.
I've watched every game all year from first quarter to the end of the game. Like you could arguably make a case that we could be 4-13.
Oh man, I have a coworker that's like diehard Eagles like you. He's called like all their losses over the last. He even called the loss against the Giants outright.
Yeah, we
And he literally is laughing because I told him I like the Eagles, and he goes, "Dude, it's going to be the most Eagles thing ever when they dominate this matchup this weekend." Because
We'll
they're gonna play like ass for the like last 5 weeks of the season, and then everyone hops in the Bucks bandwagon, and then the Eagles are gonna win.
I think it's. I don't know if it's overstated. Well, I guess it'd be understated, or it might be over. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. But anyways, I think it's crazy that this guy might be an Eagles fan or whatever, or anybody thinks that you can play that poorly for 6 weeks and then or 7 weeks and it just become the playoff time, and then all of a sudden because it's the playoff time you can just flip a switch.
Well, I think he's kind of like Like he's kind of laughing like you were laughing about how he's kind of like saying like it would be the funniest thing ever. Like he didn't really give me reasons like for that. Like he wasn't like straight handicapping like I'm putting a bunch of money. He was more so just saying it would be a real like Eagles type thing to happen after like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like he was saying that's his favorite play of the week or anything
I think
like
if
that.
you just look at the matchup, our secondary sucks.
Like what's your excuse for the Saints blowing out?
I don't watch every Bucks game, so I can't really say. I don't even think I watched that game.
There we go.
But I know what my team's like, and I can tell you our secondary's god awful. If Darius Slay is notorious for not traveling around the field, and he's been out the last 3 weeks.
But you don't even need to win by margin, Jake. Just win. All they have to do is pretty much win the game. I don't think they're gonna win by one or two.
It would be very an Eagles thing to kick a field goal and win by one, and none of us win. Like that, like that's where I'm at. Like if we're winning, I don't think we're winning convincingly.
Okay.
It's gonna be one of those like last minute, like the.
I think they either get fucked up or they win by a touchdown.
The Buffalo game.
I think that's what happened. They either get fucked up or they win by a touchdown. They're not winning in a close game.
No, I don't, and that's why I don't think we're winning because I think it's gonna be a close game.
All right.
I'm just straight loyalty, but if you really want to like break it down, like the pass rush has gotten very little to no pressure this year. That last year, the only reason our secondary was half decent was because we were able to get after the quarterback. If we weren't able to sack him, at least we were able to hit him and speed up that internal process of I need to get the ball out. If you don't have that, it's going to open up so much. Our linebacking core is disgusting. Like absolutely hideous. Maybe arguably our bottom 5 worst in the league.
Yeah.
Our secondary, Bradbury over the hill. Roby, Sidney Brown rookie out for the year. Like, we're so banged up all over the field. Guys are going to be playing just because it's the playoffs, but nobody's healthy right now. Our offensive line has been absolutely decimated the last 5 weeks. What are the Bucks good at? Getting after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. They do have underrated pressure. You're right.
Jalen Hurts, broken finger, on your throwing hand. Can you throw the ball? Probably not. A.J. Brown, hurt last week, questionable. Probably going to play. Not healthy, though. Do we run the ball? No. So like where like that's my thing.
I can't wait to clip that after they win.
No, and we might. I'm
gonna do it. I'm gonna.
If we're being a realist here, where are we gonna win the game? Like that's what it comes down to.
But like you're acting like I'm taking them like -6.5 against like a really
I would take
good
the Bucks money line. Like I seriously think like there is a lot of problems right now with this Eagles team, and it's terrible when you're starting quarterback. Rumors are coming out. Or reports, rumors, whatever you want to say, that A.J. Brown went to Nick Sirianni and was like, we need to figure out how Jalen can stop turning the ball over. And literally the next practice they had was Jalen Hurts practicing falling on the ball and not fumbling.
Wow.
Like if you're getting pressured, how to fall and protect the ball so you don't lose it.
Jeez.
Like there's something going on in that locker room that we're clearly not privy to, but the fact that the week before the playoffs, there's leaks coming out about you need your quarterback to land on the ball.
I get what you're saying, but like my whole point is just like, I know we got to wrap it up, but my whole point is like hockey terms. If it's like, if Vegas is limping into the playoffs and they're not playing their best hockey, but they're playing like the Kraken in the first round, I don't really care that they're not playing their best hockey right now. They're going to beat the Kraken.
Well, I mean,
the next round, they might get fucked.
Didn't Colorado lose to the Kraken? Didn't Colorado lose to the Kraken?
That's why I didn't use Colorado.
Yeah, okay,
that's why
so there we go. Best team in the NHL.
But they weren't limping in, though. They weren't limping in.
That's my point. I think it's all about matchups and kind of what's going on that week. Like for me, it's just not an ideal matchup for us. I said to you,
all right. Well, at least if I watch the game with you, we should at least cheer together.
No, we're definitely going to be cheering the Eagles. I'm not going to sit there and be like, fuck the Eagles. But I think I said to you last week, like I don't want to play the Bucks.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Like I didn't want to play the Bucks at all. I would have much rather gone to New Orleans.
We all know who the real Baker is, though.
Kick the shit out of Derek Carr and be on our way to the next round and lose.
We know who the real Baker is, man.
The real
Baker. Can the real Baker please stand up? He's going to stand up and throw 4
some gutty performances. Anyways.
All right, that's it. Let's wrap it up.
Eagles -3 across the boardroom. I know it sounds like I'm the worst fan ever, but it's been 7 weeks of absolute bullshit.
Yeah, that is a hurt fan.
Comment below what you're betting.
We went from 18-0 historic season to barely made the playoffs. Might get bounced in round 1 to Baker Mayfield.
We went from quickest pod in Mayflower history to average length.
Yeah, this one might have even been longer than average. Like, I think we went in thinking we were going to have our 3 picks. We ended up talking about each and every game.
All right, everybody comment below what you're betting on. Let us know prop sides or totals. And Jake, I'm a tradition guy, man. You
All
close
right,
it out.
I'll take it away. Come on, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Make sure you check us out on YouTube at Mayflower Sports, Instagram Mayflower Sports, Twitter Sports Mayflower, TikTok Mayflower Sports. You can find us on all podcast networks, I guess you could call it. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music. I think Amazon Podcast we've talked about a couple times.
I love how you always list all of them.
Yeah, wherever you listen. Yeah, I want to let you know exactly where you can get it because I don't want any excuses on why you're not listening. But for the Mayflower Sports crew, we all gamble presented by Mayflower Sports. I'm Jacob, Andrew, Noah. Hopefully we'll see you here next week with the Eagles in the round 2.